Okay, so we'll start where we left off. Uh, if you are unable to see, you can message me. Okay, so we covered loop, we covered range function, um, and we covered user defined function, right? We covered global variables. By now, you know very common and basic difference. It's very easy to create. If you missed, please see the recordings. Okay, so function argument, I think this also we have done. Anonymous functions, yeah. Here we were discussing a little bit on the advantage of this. So once you understand how a function is written, what parameters takes, it performs some calculation, we have to write set of lines, right? But in using lambda you can do this into one line, right? Like this. So yesterday we tried to square that whatever parameter we passed and we used lambda, right? So like this way also you can use. On the slides everything is there with the very basic examples. But when you wherever you enroll or whenever you study something about Python with data visualizations, things will get little complex. So I'm also going to show you something to some part today as we cannot cover. This needs some time, but I'll definitely give you the areas where you should be looking for better learning. Yeah, the list and tuples so here we prepared the difference, and a common thing is, let me ask you this. Yeah, let me ask you this. Okay, so I need answers. Okay, so when I say uh, okay, when I say this and when I say in this, which one is the example of the first one? Please put it in the chat window. Do not unmute. What is the first one is what we call this first one, what we call first one, what type it is, and what we call the second type. So give your two answers, one and two. So I'm seeing your chat window from the phone. Okay, so some, okay, list and tuple. Okay, so I hope by now we know this is tuple and this is list. Fine. Okay, nice. Okay, so if I'll talk about indexing from where it starts, just answers on the chat window. If I'll talk about indexing a list, where it starts, which positions sequencing number it starts. Okay, I got one response. Good, thank you. Okay, so if I have to slice, what uh, syntax I can use? I can use colon, right? And then I can slice it out wherever I need. Okay, which one is mutable or which one is immutable here? I need answers. Which one is mutable and which one is immutable? What it simple mean is which one we can modify, which one we can't. So you can say one mutable, not mutable, immutable, two mutable, immutable, whatever response you want to give. So I want two response. Which one is mutable and immutable? Means which one we can modify and we can't modify. Okay, nice. So others, you didn't get that understanding, then you have to go through our recordings. It's very simply we explained that, and it was quick recap today. We slowly understood. We spent time while understanding those things. What is that string and what is the string? String is immutable or immutable? I'm not talking about list and tuple. I'm just saying a string. Is it immutable or immutable? means we can we modify some indexing of particular string or no? No, right? Okay, so it's in no category. So please go through the recording and slides. Everything is there. So at least when you are enrolling and investing your 1 hour daily, this is the fifth class, you should definitely take away something. So what you were and what information you were having about Python 5 days before, if you compare today yourself, you should be on the better place than 5 days back. Okay, but you have to keep improvise yourself daily whenever you get an opportunity. Okay, okay. Now remember these examples. I'll come back to this notepad file again. Okay, so these are the list of methods. You should have tried that. I gave you this part of assignments that day. Yeah, then tuple advantage is very good when we, because they are not in modified, so there are other benefits they hold, right? Like faster, they are faster when we deal with them, when we loop through them, right? So there are some advantages. Okay, okay. Yeah, and there are few methods of tuples. So in interview, that person might confuse you between tuple functions and list functions, what you can do, what you cannot do. Here, tuple means we are not talking about modifying data, we are talking about fetching data out of it, or we are trying to count, we are trying to get min max. Definitely, we should be allowed. So, have an understanding which is mutable, which is immutable. Based on that, those functions have been written. Okay, so everything is connected. When you don't focus on a small thing, and when you see a bigger picture, it will cause a problem. Okay. Okay, so these are methods we covered. Yeah, so today the another important concept we are going to cover is dictionary. Okay, so what is dictionary mean is suppose our federal government or our federal authorities, how they maintain and they know about us, right? They have our social security number with them. They don't identify us as our with our names, because with our names there are many guys, right? So they are not uniquely identified that we are they, or we are that particular person, right? To identify to a particular person, everybody has national identity, right? Which cannot be duplicated or which cannot be assigned to the another guy once it is given. Okay, so another example will be, just try understanding this. Okay, so if I'll say, suppose this is my social security number. Okay, suppose. Okay, and here it's the name. Okay, and and suppose this is for another guy. So here we are dividing and trying to store in a pair, and we identify this value. Government doesn't care about my names. Okay, they care about this. Okay, they maintain all the records by this, all health record, medical records, educational record, or maybe criminal record, if accidental information, anything. They won't care about this, they care about this. This is the second parameter when they care about, right? So this cannot be a duplicate one. So what my point is, when we have some data like this, we maintain using key and value. So dictionary works on the two concepts, key and value. You give a key, with this you refer your value, but your key, based on the key, will be able to give you the value. So it's stored in a combination. Okay, it is stored in a combination. It needs a key, it needs a value. I hope this is clear now. Let's see, understand the theoretical part of dictionary. Yeah, so again, it's a key value pairs. This is how you can remember this. and it's much easier to remember when we associated some value with keys. Okay, now see this simple example. There are two ways we can create dictionary, and you already learned list tuple. It is time for today to learn dictionary and sets. Okay, sets are not that much important, but dictionary, list, and tuple are. Okay, and sorry for the background noise. Today I'm working on a different place. Yeah, so this is an example where we are giving a key and a value, key and value. This is a one pair. If you see using colon, this is divided into one pair, means the colon denotes or demonstrate that this side of the thing is a key and that side of the thing is a value. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, and this is another way of creating dictionary. DICT, it's a short version of referring something to the dictionary. You can also say key. Here I don't need to give single quote. Please compare both the ways of creations. Both are okay, but everybody prefer the first one. Okay, everybody prefers the first one. Okay, so it's up to you. If you are not comfortable with this colon, you can go with equal to, but in equal to, the first key will not have a string, like a string, will not have a single quotes. It will be direct value. Okay, and you can assign after equal to. Once you're saying equal to means it's also a connector. It's also a connector of a key and value pair. Key and value, right? So dictionary is all about key and value. When you're learning this concept here, this concept remains the same for all programming languages. Okay, wherever you go, if you now you got the understanding of what is dictionary is. Now if somebody is discussing in the technical discussion or in the interview, you will know what they are trying to do. So you have to put your focus around the functionality provided and methods available for the dictionary. Then it will be very easy to answer, right? Okay, or somebody is discussing a scenario based problem which can be solved using key and value pair, then you can suggest that, okay, why don't we go with that and we solve our problem, but I don't want to talk scenario more, because first you have to be good at basics. Once you're good at basics, then it makes sense to talk scenarios. Okay, so that you can relate. Okay, yeah, let's proceed. Before I proceed, let me let me start Jupyter. um, okay, it actually, if it was on sleep mode or after that. So every time whenever you are having a problem with Jupyter, please stop all the instances on the command prompts and start fresh, so that it will, all this processing engine, servers, kernels, and all this configuration works fine. Yeah, it's prompted and open for us. Today we are going to create. And by the way, I'm uploading this in a HTML format on the same G drive, all the notebooks, whatever we have practiced. If you're unable to access any materials discussed within this 5 days, other than the first day recording, then you can reach out to us or given contact number, we will give you. And recently we have a YouTube channel which we launched for by InPlug, and the purpose is, once you're done with this your classroom session, you can see all this recording for the lifetime, and YouTube, and you can always refer. But this will be basic introductions and the basic understanding. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to create. Yeah. So I'm going to say this is our day 5, right? Okay. So I will say my first dictionary. Okay. So let me go back to the slide and let me do the same. Where this? Okay. It's not coming. Yeah, it's here. Okay. Please see this. Now, which braces we are using in the dictionary? Curly braces. Okay. Please remember this. This is a very important point so that you won't confuse what you are doing, what you are dealing with. Okay. I'll say, and then,
Vijay,
yeah.
can you zoom in a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Sure.
Thank you.
I forgot today. Yeah. Just see this with the colon, key, and value are separated. So let me put two values at least. Oh, sorry. Okay, here. So here, let me say, see, this is how it prints. But we want to know what is the type. Nowhere we mention dictionary, right? So if you want to know the type, you have a function called type open brackets and assign the object. It will give you which particular type this is. Okay, and if we'll check, it is going to give us dictionary. But that's not my point here. Okay. Then next is another way of doing it. So this you can try as a part of assignments. Okay, and when you do both, you will also only allowed to do the first one, not the second one, but it's your choice again. Okay. Okay, so this is very straightforward example. Now when we say dictionary, definitely we should be able to fetch a value out of it, right? Then only it makes sense. We should be utilizing based on the key, we should be utilizing based on the whatever values, and passing that values and getting the value based on the key, something like this. Okay, let's see this. Let's see. You see, it says dictionary keys. When I say use keys function, it's going to give me A, B, C, and PQR. These are my keys. Okay. If I'll say it, this time it's going to give me values. Let's see. Okay. If I want to loop through, I can use for loop and I can loop through. Okay. Okay, which we are going to see. But I think this is what the introductions and little bit syntax and very basics creation of dictionary, understanding key and value. I hope you got it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so another thing is, once you are comfortable with dictionary, you should learn a order dictionary. Okay, you might not be using this, but in some case you can use this. What is the agenda of this? Why we went with ordered dictionary, and what is the difference between a normal dictionary? Ordered dictionary is comes from a module called ordered dictionary. That is a module written by Python. We have to import it. Okay, we have to import it. We can, like this, we can import from collection, import order dix, dict. This is the syntax we can get. Now that particular syntax, you can directly have that function. In this function you can pass our second method, the way we were creating dictionary. Now the purpose of this is, it store your keys in a sorted manner. But when you create the dictionary using our first method, first approach, it does not store in a sorted fashion, right? After 1 2 3 4 5, suppose you have numeric, suppose you have alphabetic sequencing, right? Whichever ascending order you have, numeric, alphabetics, it's not going to maintain the first one. But if you want that your key and values, sorry, your key is stored based on the ordered one, then you choose ordered dictionary, which is very rare. and you just get comfortable with the first one. If you need in some time, you should know that this is also possible using ordered dictionary. Now what is this module is, right? I also used, I think, math. I imported math, or I imported some other module. What it is, we can also write our own modules, but that's again an additional advanced topic. How we create and utilize our own modules, how to do packaging, how do we do libraries, there are many other things on top of Python. Python was the simple flat framework, right? On top of that, people has written for visualizations different things. People has written NumPy, people has written pandas. What are these names? NumPys, pandas. These are the names which will simplify our dealing with the data. If we will only do list, tuple, dictionaries, it has some limitation. It has some not 100% user friendly. So NumPy and Pandas are another libraries which we can import on the Python only, and we can learn those how to take value, insert value, how to get value, how to set values, how to retrieve. So these are on the advanced topic, but I'm just giving you names, okay? NumPy and Pandas are the good libraries. Okay, so there are many other things when you learn Python advanced. You will learn modularizing. How do you model? How do you learn OOPS concept for the programming perspective? But this course agenda is to get you to the basics. Okay. Oh yeah, this is one of the examples. So this is how you can also see, you can print your indexing. In this example, when you do, please do this exercise in your free time, and you will see that you are able to get index plus key plus value. And this is how, using a enumerator function, you have to use this function. When you deal with order dictionary, you have to use enumerator function, and with this way you can also get indexing plus key plus value. You see, everything is printed here. So in some case, just try remembering everything and utilize or apply wherever that is applicable. Okay, sets. Yeah, so I won't spend much time on sets now. uh, Let me add to our notepad file some one more thing, so that yeah, here now if I have to say dictionary, curly braces, and key, so that you can remember right now, right here. This is a curly braces, this is a normal brackets, this is a square one, right? So this we call dictionary. Please remember, right? You identify like this, we identify. Nobody will write a name of list, tuple, dictionary. Based on the syntax and based on the brackets used, you have to remember what type it is. Okay, and I know in starting 4 or 5 days it takes some time for our brain to understand and get a habit of writing in the same way. Okay, but the more you practice, you will get it. Okay, now sets. Why these sets are given, let's understand that. So basically it's a collection of data, right, that are unordered and unique. This item cannot be repeated. Please listen, this item cannot be repeated, and it's a collection. So this is what set come into picture, right? Okay, so with no duplicates in the set, we are able to perform mathematical operations. Okay, suppose I will have distinct. When I say distinct, I am talking about unique. When I have set of values, maybe 50, a non-repeated, a non-duplicate values in a first particular set of brackets, then it means whatever mathematical operation I want to do, I can perform without worrying about data duplication, right? Without worrying about how to deal with the collections where I don't need a duplicate. In few scenarios, we don't need that. Okay, so in few scenario, if we need, we can definitely use other methods for dealing with collections. Yeah, yeah, so you can let me show you how it is. So this starts set. No, let me show you mathematical way, so I think that makes more sense. See this? So here there is a curly braces, but this time this is we call set, this we call dictionary, this we call tuple, this we call list. Okay, so I think by fifth day you should be able to identify something like this, which is what. Okay, okay, now what is the purpose? So when we have two sets of thing, three sets of thing, we definitely want to compare against each other. We want to maybe combine, maybe we want to say, suppose I have this set, and when I say this set, do not only think about a small level. Okay, just give a little broader understanding. It may be a 10,000 rows, 10,100,000 rows, Okay, so now if I'll ask you that I have two sets, and let me say this, I have two sets. The set one has 1 to 3 and set 2 has 1 4 6. If I'll ask you, if I'll combine both of them, what I'll get? 6 elements. And if I have to find out the common one, then I will have only one is common. If I have to find out uncommon one, I have 2 and 3 and 4 and 6, right? So when we thinking in that perspective, that we need a subtraction, we need addition, we need the common grounds of a set of collections. In that case we use sets. Okay, that's what I can explain in a simple language, but when you will practice and learn, then you will get this overall idea of sets. Okay, yeah, so let me give you at least a small example so that it's very easy to iterate. Like this, you can get. Okay, so dictionary I didn't loop through. I will loop through dictionary also. Let me try dictionary also if I haven't. Yeah, if ppt didn't cover, I'll show you. Dictionary is a little advanced when we loop through, and because there are two things, key and value, right? So whenever we deal with the collections, we generally pick one, right? We generally pick from the collection, we are going to print that. But in case of dictionary, this is not the case. Okay, so let me copy that example, and let me say for x in my first, sorry, okay. Now if I'll say print, what I'm going to get, let's see what I'm going to get when I say it like this. I'm only getting key values A, B, C, P, Q, R. Okay. What about dictionary values? Okay. How to get that? So if I can say, you see. So to get to the value, you need to go to the dictionary. You have to say which particular value you are looking for. The moment you pass a key value, it's going to return you. Sorry, what the based on the key you will pass, it's going to return the value for that key associated with. So if you have seen these two example, let me again repeat this on the top of it. Okay, or I'll repeat this way. Oh, okay. Here I will only print this one. After this is print, this will go, so that you will understand when you see both things together. Here my this first for loop is giving me ABC and PQR. Okay, and when I need values also, I need to pass that particular key inside as a parameter or as an indexing to this square brackets, so that dictionary will know, oh, you need that particular key, let me give you the value. We are passing ABC, then it okay, then dictionary says okay, you are passing ABC means you need XYZ. You are passing PQR means you need the value. So I will give you the value. So this is how we, in an old way, we call this array, and we used to get the array values like this. Okay, so this is how it has to be dictionary. Okay, now let me, yeah, it's already saved. Okay, now this is also good. So yeah, let's come back to the sets quickly. And set is not that important right now. We have other things. So we can add and we can print, we can remove, we can discard also. There are some other functions which sets accepts. And yeah, so this is one of the extra thing that you can do. You want to do union. Now what is that union is? Okay, the union is you have two sets, and you want to combine them, but you don't want a duplicate information, right? So as we said, once within the one set, the data will not be repeated and duplicate. But when you compare set 1 and set 2, they can have a common ground, they can have a common values, right? So they collide or they interact on some common ground, they have some common attributes. Okay, so that's what the set is about. So if you see this simple example, A union B. Now there were two result set, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 values in the result set 2 and 6 values in the results in the set 1. Okay, but when we do A union B, what we are getting? We are getting complete line. In that, if you see, 1 to 3 was the common, 1 to 3 was available in both, 4 5 6 is not available in the B, and 8 to 9 is not available in the A. But when we combine, what we did, we take out the duplicates, we don't need duplicates, and we try to provide a complete matched or unmatched informations from the set 1. If there is a matching, we are discarding. If something is available in set A and also available in a B, we are not going to take from the B. If there is something common ground, we will only show once. So 6 plus 7 values, it means there were 13 values. When we do a union, we got 10. Based on what? Based on the simple math, right? If it is already available, not going to consider, only unique values will be here. Okay, so now you know a one at least simple operation of union. But again, let's see where we can use this. Okay, so where you can use this is when you're dealing with the data, and if you have a list of things, or from doing a mathematical operations like this, and you should be having a unique values, then only you can play with the sets. Okay, so it's little tricky when to use. Okay, yeah, now things comes to on, because as we have less time, things comes to on object oriented programming. What this mean is, in earlier way, people were just writing a simple code, they were not organizing it. So somebody wrote a list of rules saying that follow this, follow that, then only your code will be considered reusable, so you can reuse it, you can organize well, so somebody else can modify, understand, and also reuse. Okay, and okay, let's see some theoretical part. So this is what the concept is, very simple here. We want to put something together into one piece, and it looks like a one piece, an organized manner. Okay, so for the theoretical definitions, you can always go through these slides. It has all the things which you will easily understand. So as I'll say high level, this is a language standards. Whenever you have some language, you have to follow object oriented programming. It is very similar to our like people, like how we deal, how we do parenting, how our kids will inherit from take habits, inherit from us, and whatever everything comes so you what this particular object oriented model is getting related with the human life, how we do the same thing we are trying to, this OOPS is trying to replicate. This looks maybe something else when I'm saying this, but when you will learn OOPS as a separate course somewhere, or with us wherever you will learn, you will understand and able to match you know, the relationship between we and our kids, the same relationship, you are going to create a one object, then another object, and then you are going to relate like a parent and child, something like this. Anyway, yeah, that's not we can't hold it for oops. So these are another things. The main advantage is reusable. Once somebody is written, now other person need to just you call that particular model and keep using it. Suppose I'm the person written a plus b equal to c, you give me two numbers and I'll give you the addition, right? So this is a simple mathematics, but um, for someone it's tough, so they will supply two values and get it, so they will use my particular model for reusability. So for that person, no need to worry about writing lines of code for adding two numbers, he will just call the methods, right? So reusable again and again, and whatever number of supplies, whatever different combinations we can supply and can get addition. Okay, now yeah, so yeah, let's see. Okay, let me show you how the classes look like. Okay, when we talk about class, okay, let me do this. 1 minute. Okay, so see here, if you are able to see, there is a class written here, and then there is a brackets and then colon. Okay, then we are trying to create an variable and assigning that particular class object. Then we are trying to add something. Okay, but before we do this, let me at least try to do a simple one. Should I give the car example, or I think no, that will be enough. Okay, I think we can take with anyone. We can say first class. Okay, so here this we call creation and definitions. We are defining here and creating a class. Right now, I'm not giving anything inside the class. We will give, and if we have to use this class, we can assign like this, and that particular variable will be holding in a class object. Okay, that particular variable. Now using this variable, we can add few more properties. See here. Here that guy has added Honda dot model something and then printed the same way. Okay. So let's add some properties. Let's say name. Okay. Okay. Now after doing this, we can have n number of properties, and this is not happening within the class. This is happening outside of the class. Class is ended here only. After that, we are just using it the empty one. Okay. And did someone faced any case sensitive issues when you deal with variables or anything? You see, I'm able to print this. So this is how we can add properties, and this is how we create a class. This is how we assign. Okay, now why that guy has given in the PPT, we have seen that example is car, right? So today you have an instance, you have a base model. Somebody invented a model of car of which runs on a four wheels. You have a steerings, you have a brake, and it's many other things, right? Lights and engine and something, that runs and work fine. Now this base model, somebody inherited and made a Ferrari out of it, BMWs, Mercedes, and many different Audis and many different models, right? So the idea was on the PPT was, when you have a base object, you are utilizing and consuming that base object, and whatever things you want to do on the top of it, you are evolving that particular thing and you are enhancing that, and you are doing your own custom model, right? So that was the agenda, to show you that car and different Honda and other models. Your class will represent generics, a generic methods, generic functionality, and you consume that class, and you keep on adding things what you need. Okay, that's the one of the example of oops, and that's one of the example how inheritance works on a generation to generations. Okay, so this is one of the connecting point what I was referring. Okay, anyway, let's see some more example. Yeah, so class also has see, definitely you cannot understand everything on the day one. Please listen recording again, and then you will get comfortable. If you are still having doubt, I understand that, and it's very obvious to have it, but just try to hear what I'm trying to connect and say. Okay, so when you have this time, I don't have a open close brackets, I have simple colon. This time there is another thing called the underscore underscore two times define. Do you remember where do we use this word? Anybody remember where do we use def? Anybody can tell me where we use this particular keyword on the chat window? Come on, we have less time. Let me check your chats. Yes, nice, thank you. Okay, so but when we say underscore underscore in it, underscore underscore, and the self is nothing but you can ignore self. It is about the class, referring to the class. In an object oriented programming, every class should have their basic constructor. This is we call constructor. What is constructor? The name suggesting when you create a class, it constructs a class for you, but will you supply the required values for the class? So this particular class means a person class I'm going to create. What I have in my mind is I want to have name, age, and height in centimeter, right? I want to have three information to perform some activities, perform some actions using person class. So I went with, okay, I will take three inputs, and that will be a base constructor when somebody wants to call this class. Okay, and then that particular supplied value will get and set here. When I'm referring self, I'm saying self means referring to the person class object. Okay, suppose we also talked about reusability. This is what the oops is about. When we say reusability, you are also using that class, I am also using the class. If the container of the class is fixed, it can only hold one value, but this is not the case. There is no space where we are filling and providing values. It's a empty template structure. Whenever we consume, it's going to create an empty structure for our own purpose. Okay, it's not going to store somewhere in the main place where the class is created. No, it is going to create a template in our program, in our code, wherever we will consume that. Okay, now, so self means whatever object you're going to create, that particular will be having name, age, and these three properties. We'll see that. Now another way is all these class are which type? Are the dictionary type, or can we append or show this with the dictionary types? How does it actually store? Or in a dictionary manner we want to return the data the way our properties are. The another important good thing about property is if you see the combination, this side of the thing, when you are assigning the supplied value, this side of the thing will be treated as a key, and this side of the thing will be value. Right now you see the same thing because this is the parameter name. Okay, this is the parameter name. What I'm saying, a value will be supplied in the future, this will be treated as a value, but what you see self dot name is a key, and this becomes a value. So when you see, let's try creating this. Let's have a person 1 equal to person open bracket, and when we create this class, what is the base requirement? It has a constructor. It's need the three values supplied, then only it's going to create a instance for us. When we create something like this, we call instance. Okay, we are creating instance of a class using supplying whatever the constructor needs. Okay, so now three values, whatever you want, and that particular object will go and sit here. Now we set that self. Now this self is nothing but this. Okay, so if you want to see this, all these three properties, what this particular person one holds, you can say person one dot underscore underscore two times dict underscore underscore. When I say dict, it means we want to see that particular class properties in a dictionary manner. So how do it's print? It's going to print us all the names and values, key and values, key and values, you see. So learning dictionary will help us when we deal with class properties. That's what I spend most of the times there. Okay, now I'm just doing a little complex here. Here we are trying to create a methods. Now we learn functions, we learn user defined functions. I hope you remember it was a very straightforward and simple, using def after function name, open bracket, colon, and that's it. You may have to return, you may not have to return, it's your choice when you create a user defined function. Okay, now constructor we understood. So this is the another way we give uh, functions inside the class. Please remember, these things are happening inside the class. Can somebody tell me how do how do sorry how do we can confirm that this function is within the class? Which things is telling us that this function is a part of the class? Can somebody tell me on the chat window how I'm identifying that particular function which is in the what happened, yeah, which is in the two lines is it belongs to the person? How do I know which thing of which part of the thing is telling me that this uh, on the chat window? Come on, give a try. On our day sorry on our sorry for that. On our day one, we learned something, some rules of writing code. What was that rule? The rule was indentation, the space what you see after the parent object, that all the child will be having a particular spacing. You see the one tab spacing, then that particular things has a tab spacing, you see. So these belongs that they belongs to this space belongs that they belongs to this. So this is how parent and child, subchild. Okay, in the same way this space, so whoever comes start from this particular spacing, that's the direct child of the person. But who start after this, they are the child of this. And you know, so I hope you are seeing how do I identify till where the code is written. It's not about you have lines, then you are done with the class. No, it's about spacing, it's about indentation. That's what on the day when I said, when I ask you or I request you to pay attention on the basics, on the small parts of the things, you will not struggle when we talk about the big thing. That's what I repeat that thing, if you remember. Always pay attention on the smallest thing when somebody is discussing or you are learning something. While learning ABC only, you are able to speak some English language, or you are able to communicate, right? Otherwise it won't be easy. Okay, anyway, so that was one of the example. Okay, so you can see here we have a variable Adam, and then we are trying to create an instance of a of that particular class, and we are saying value 1, value 2, and value 3. Okay, oh, my connection is bad. I hear there is a problem with my connection. Can you please confirm on the chat window? Let me check. Yeah, somebody said my connection is bad. Let me check. I hope I'm audible. No, it's good only. Okay, am I audible? Just confirm me on the chat window. Okay, good, good. Thanks. I think maybe it's on some other side. Okay, no issues. Okay, let's focus on this. Yeah, on PPT, sorry. Yeah. So I was saying the person and then supplied values. So what we are trying to do, this will go and sets here and go to the construction and prepare an object for us. Everything is an object, variable, list, tuple, dictionaries, all are we can call and refer them as a objects, you know. So this is also one of the object we created. This is one of the instance of the class we created, right? And using this particular instance, we can simply call this function. Now you will be wondering, I see a parameter here, but while we call this speak, I don't see any value has been supplied, because self, as I said, self you should ignore. It's nothing but referring to the class. That's it. It's nothing but referring to the class. That's it. So when you have a self, you don't need to supply that, you have to ignore that, but it's mandatory to have referred to the same class object. Okay, so this is way it is written and the syntax is written. So okay. So I hope this simple example you got it, and I need your another 5 to 10 minutes. So we will wrap up all the things which I want to show, so please be available in here. Okay. So yeah, file operations. So I'll quickly do this through. First of all, I hope you are aware that we nowadays deal with the different files, comma separated files, which is nothing but stored with the comma, a, a normal text file with this with whatever we write, whatever text we write, so there are different files we have. Okay, so now these are the methods which we can use standard Python modules. So yeah, modules I didn't discuss because it's another 50-20 minutes topic. What is model is nothing but we just discuss when we have to use somebody's code or maybe our code in our own Python programming, then we put that particular things into one module and then we consume that. Okay, but this will be a part of advanced things. So the built-in models, what you will see when you will practice online and when you will learn Pythons, you will see math, you will see random. Okay, you will see re for regular expression, os or sys. These are the modules, you can import them and you can utilize those functions. In our day to example, we use pi, which is 3.14 values, right? So that a constant value comes from a module called math. So there are few fixed modules, so which, and now let's talk about file now. Okay, so file, when you deal with a file, you double click, you open them, you read, sometimes you write, you know and sometimes you read line by lines and you want to read at a time, continuously. Sometimes you read one line. So whatever things we can do, and Python is offering you functions. He's saying, okay, once you open a file, please use these functions to deal with the file. Okay, so I'm going to create a file for you first, and then I'm going to display. Okay. Okay, so let's create a file first. This is a syntax. Yeah, let me show the syntax also. A simple syntax: open functions using R. What is this R? What is this second parameter values? It's nothing but it's mentioned here. These are the mode. You want to open a file in the write mode, in a read mode, or read and write both modes, in append mode. Why append mode? When you still have to append few more informations into the existing files, that's we call append mode, right? Write is, write. So for write you will write W, for read you will write R, right? So we'll go with the R and we'll try to print. Okay, so let me say, so I'm just writing some file, some text file. Thank you so much for joining this course. I'm glad you are here. Okay, so I will save this. I'll say welcome dot txt. Okay, I'm saving in the D drive welcome txt. Okay, saved. Okay, now I'll try to access this file. I'll try to access this file. So how can I do? Read file. This is just my variable, any variable, and here things starts. Open the colon. I said welcome, right? Welcome dot txt, and in the read mode, right? I don't want write mode. I don't want any other modes. I will go with the read mode. Okay. So again, yeah, I think we are good. So we can directly read that and show you. Now what I see here, you see text equal to open. We are assigning the same reading object into that particular variable. From that variable only we are reading and assigning it back utilizing the same variable. You can also take different variable, not a problem. Okay, or I should just say file, but it's fine. Okay, and I'll say print. Let's see. You see, this is what the text was there, right? This is what the text I have written inside this file on my location, right? I hope you remember this. So this is how simple it is when you deal with a file. And whatever number of length it has doesn't matter. Python is very fast. It's very fast to read and write and very good to deal with files. This is one of the example to deal with a simple file. I didn't do anything much complex. You can also try the same thing in your when you practice. Okay, very simple, straightforward. Suppose I have to write also, then what I can do, I can use r plus, I can use w for write, right? So these are the things I can do. Okay, so here on the ppt again, so this is the method go, yeah, this is the another way of reading files. So you can also read a file using with and open. So what with is here is every time when you have to open a file you have to close it, right? So the close is very much mandatory, otherwise if you won't close it will stuck in your cache or somewhere, right? So it can give you a problem. Now the another syntax goes with open. You see here I did not mention a variable in the starting. Please mention, please look at this. I did not mention anywhere in the starting variable. I'm saying with open file address, that particular mode which I want, after the comma, and after as I can give the variable name which I'm going to refer, then colon. It means the scope of this file will automatically open and close internally in the background. So this is the efficient way, for working with the files, and you won't be having a resource problem. Resource problem in the sense, um, you won't be facing any server level issues. Okay, so this is also good way, and simply print that content is the another way of reading and printing. Okay, yeah. Okay, so so now my we come to a point where if I see on a high level we covered variables, data types, built-in functions, tuples, list, okay, dictionaries, playing with the dictionaries, methods, class, functions inside the class, utilizing the class. Now it's the time that we deal with the little bit on extra libraries which Python offers. Okay, so now uh, a few syntax I have written here which you can copy paste. You can read a CSV like this, and you can also go with this copy paste syntax. So I copy pasted this for you. Now this is what, oh sorry, this is what I was talking about. NumPy, pandas. When you import these libraries, or we can say module or libraries, you will do a data visualizations. You can deal with the data. Okay, what I'm trying to do here, for deal with the data you need certain functions, certain capabilities which can handle a data in a particular organized way. So NumPy and pandas will give you a certain benefits for your how do you organize, how do you write function, how do you deal with them, So they will give you more flexibility than list, dictionary, and other things. Okay, and they will give you additional ready-made features which will, you will see a magic right now. Okay, so there are few things here. A few things, randomly I'm generating a number and I'm using a data frame. Here this course is not intended for learning NumPy, learning Panda. This course is not about. This course was about, again, introductions and basics, but I'm showing you, if you are interested to learn, you can feel free to learn this in your with your Python learning. So how in the NumPy and Pandas, these are the libraries we can import, we can use. And here I have written this code. Let me copy this from here. Okay, and let me show you what it can do. You will be surprised how a data frame and can play a role. How a plotting works. Plotting in the sense, when you have a x and y axis, how these things works. Okay, let me go here. Oh, what did I miss? It says, uh, okay, hang on a second. This was the auto-generated example from the Google I showed you, so that I can, without complexity, I can show you one wonderful graph, which anyway I run on the another file this yesterday. Let me show you this. I think if that is there somewhere, it will be there. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's the same line. Okay, see this. This is the same line, and execution, you will be getting this while you will execute. Okay, so see here, I'm importing this NumPy, I'm importing this Pandas, and after that I'm using this Pandas dot data frame. Data frame is a function. Okay, and then in this data frame I'm preparing my columns. Okay, and then I'm preparing the series means in which way I want to represent. You see this? So in this way, you are going to deal and get the data in your raw files, in your different data sets, and you are going to present like this. You know how simple, in 1 minute, without any reporting tool, without any other additional graphics, we are able to present a tool using Python script. That's the richness and capabilities of Python. So don't worry about what is this series functions of Panda, what is this data frame functions do, what is this a, what I have written here. Okay, what is this plot? Plot is important. It's simple x-axis, y-axis thing. This is x and y-axis thing. Okay. So anyway, so do you see the power of using NumPy and Pandas? So internally, it will use Matplotlib. This is a company which started MATLab's graphs, and for light version of graphs. So utilizing these in Python becomes advantage for us. So this was the first library which provides MATLAB, which provides the graphical representations using Python, and later so many came. But yeah, so let me decrease the size a little bit so you can see. Still okay. Now you can see in one piece, right? No, still you can't see. Yeah, now you can see at least in one piece, right? 1 minute. Okay, so do you see? So why I'm still focusing on that particular screen, and I'm asking you to see this, that simple 3 lines of code, what it can do. And customer no need to worry about what you have written. They will only see this. They will want to execute something like that, and they will just see these visuals. Okay. Okay, so that was the end of the slide of today, and I hope you enjoyed this sessions and course. And I will, wish you all the best for your Python learning and any other learning. Or as I said, it's up to you. Uh, Please start learning wherever you do, wherever you are comfortable, whichever course or whichever company or consulting firm. It's totally fine. but explore your capabilities, and we are human and we can do everything. This is what I believe. And yeah, so if you put your focus in another 1 or 2 or 3 months, you keep learning and you will be ready for the switch or for the career enhancement. That's my wish, that you will definitely get what you want. Okay, so that's it from my side. If you have questions, I'm open for questions. I will share this PPT, and I'll share this notebook. Yeah, now it's time for questions. Let me unmute, or yeah, where it is. Yeah, let me listen. If you have anything, yeah, you can unmute now yourself and speak up. And don't forget, tomorrow we have a big course coming in, free webinars on 3 sessions by Rajiv Ranjan. And he, as I mentioned, he's a 11 plus IT expert in data side, healthcare domain knowledge, and dealing with the huge data. So it will be good advantage for you guys to attend that webinar. It's anyway, it does not cost you anything to attend, so it's up to you. Okay, any other doubts from the today's sessions? Nana, you have anything to say before we conclude this Python class? And we recently launched our YouTube channel also. Please subscribe to that so you will keep updated. And not all the study class will be uploaded, only free webinar classes will be uploaded. Yeah, but you will get a lot of information. You will get post about upcoming courses on many different webinars. Free webinars are coming, like Snowflake, Azure, different technologies. So you to if you want to just get those at least webinars, keep in touch with us on this group, Python group, which we will be converting to the learning group. And you can, with YouTube, you can always in touch. We'll post that comment that what is coming up for the events. So that's it. I will recommend that this group you make it your learning group. We won't do spam, or we won't do any unusual post in that group. You can be a part of it for getting the updates on any other future courses or sessions, just to have an advantage. Okay, so I think I'll conclude then, and have a good night. I'll wait for another 1 or 2 minutes here. Yeah, you guys can log out. If maybe somebody will speak in after some time, so I'll be here in mute, and I'll log out after 2 minutes. Thank you everyone, and wish you good luck.